All right, Wednesday's edition here, the vlog, wrapping up today's show. Great show. A lot of reaction to Scott Rabolet's front page cover article on the sports section this morning, The Advocate, titled Thinning Ice, where he says Coach Les Miles of the LSU football program is coaching for his life over the next 2 weeks. A lot of reaction from listeners today. I guess once you read the article, we all read it last night. What was your initial reaction?
Well, first and foremost, for a man with the reputation of Scott Rabolet to come out and write that,
I agree.
There has to be something significant that's going on. Scott Rabolet doesn't just manufacture a story like that. Doesn't happen.
No, and having been a part of the football business for 20-something years, you just know there's something out there. It might not be the decisions made already, but the rumblings are already and they start at the top, and that's how that article was written. So it'll be interesting to see what happens over the next couple of weeks.
How do you think they respond this week as a football team?
You know, if the kids that are competitors are going to come out there and going to fight the tail off. You know, the players didn't go out there and lose those 2 games and be like, whatever, no big loss. It is a big loss to them. They want to win. They want to play for championships and stuff. But from a player standpoint, you get frustrated too. You say, there, what are we doing from a game plan standpoint that's going to help us out? I don't want to get beat at Ole Miss, and there's some guys from Texas don't want to get beat by Texas A&M. So there's still a lot to play for. They're playing for a bowl game. They're going to have whether they win or lose the next 2 games, they're still going to have a winning record, and they're going to go to a bowl game. Now it's like, I think the conversation becomes, what bowl do we want to play for? Do we want to go to some second-rate bowl, or we want to play in the Sugar Bowl?
Well, and we've seen fans get frustrated in the last 2 weeks, so it makes sense that administrators and other people would have some frustration as well. But I think that what Rabolet mentioned in his article, and I think the bigger thing for those that are simply watching the team on the field is, you're 7-2 right now. You look at the schedule right there. You're at Ole Miss. You're home against Texas A&M. You win those 2 games. You finish the season 9-2. Would have been a 10-2 season if the McNeese State game wouldn't have been canceled. It was. You have to deal with that. But at 9-2 and where you are in the Southeastern Conference, Florida was going to play Alabama likely for the SEC championship. If Florida loses to Alabama and they lose to Florida State in their season finale, LSU with a head-to-head win and only 2 losses as opposed to 3 for Florida, then you're playing yourself into the Sugar Bowl. So while we're having all this speculation about firing coaches or whatever, there's also a possibility, if they do right the ship, that you win the last 2 and you get into the Sugar Bowl.
And you're playing a home game.
And that to me,
it's a huge
absolutely,
game for
and
LSU.
that to me is why all of this is that the conversation isn't about will they make a change, won't they make a change. The conversation is, how do they finish the season? If they finish the season where the Arkansas game continues a downward spiral, then yeah, all of these questions need to be asked. If they win the last 2, I think that changes everything.
Agreed.
I agree as well. What do you guys think of Archie?
Archie Manning is great.
Classic.
What about Prince telling the story about when he cried the day he
Oh,
got
you
kidding?
good.
That was great.
He said, well, I like his response. He cried too.
I remember it, all right? 3836 Evangelist, Chalmette, Louisiana. I was upstairs in my room. It was late at night. My dad comes upstairs, knocks on the door.
Mid-season trade, or was it before?
Yeah, mid-season.
Mid-season trade.
Knocks on the door. Boy. Yeah, Dad. Saints traded Archie. That was it, dude.
Just
I had an Archie Manning poster and a Tommy Myers poster up in the room, dude. Signed by Archie. That was it.
What was the
It's over
best
with.
game you saw Archie play in the Dome? Do you remember any specific memories of watching him play as a Saint, or just?
I remember a couple of them. I remember him being like the only player for this, and this was back in the day. Nobody wore jerseys or whatever else like that, and everybody was just Saints fans. And you went in there. I'm not quite old enough where everybody wore like suits and fedoras to games, but it was back in the day when you went
Skinny ties and suits.
exactly.
Huh?
Yeah, everybody had the little press had the little clip in the fedora. But I remember a lot of times when Archie Manning was out there and watching him play and just kind of having that feeling, man, if he had some help. I mean, he did have like Chuck Muncie and Wes Chandler and other guys, and then those guys would like go out and play with Dan Fouts, and they would win, playoff games and everything else. So it was always a difference of, just being a Saints fan and knowing that it was you were always settling for the disappointment.
Now, you competed against his kids. He told some pretty good stories this morning about Peyton and Eli. Rough Sunday for those guys. Peyton banged up. Eli was a tough loss. What was it like going up against those guys?
Those 2 guys are the epitome of what a great quarterbacks are all about, and they were field generals on the field. A story about Peyton Manning, his rookie year, we were playing against him, and I went up to talk to him before the game. Hey, what's up? How are things going? Well, I found out later in the year that he doesn't like talking to people before a game. And so, guess what I've done? Every year we played against them. Hey, man, buddy, what's up? How's your dad? How's your mom? Man, how's your brother doing at Ole Miss?
What do you eat when you go back
I
home?
would just like, for me, I did it purposely because I just knew he did. Then he got, he got to a point where he changed his pregame routine. And that was something special to watch him and what he does. It's like a 30-minute routine with his receivers before a game. And you knew that you're watching greatness take place with him and even his brother. You know, Eli's got two Super Bowl rings and MVPs. That great quarterbacks, great competitors, great representatives of the state of Louisiana.
How many Pro Bowls you played in with Peyton?
I played in 7. I was named 8. Played in 7, and I think I might have played in about 5 of them with them.
I'd imagine all of them.
Yeah, I don't know. In '98, he wasn't his. 99 was my first Pro Bowl, so it would have been his as well. Maybe 2000. It might have been all 7 of them I played with him, and just a good guy to be around.
Peyton Manning and Eli's dad, Archie, was with us this morning at the top of the 8 o'clock hour. If you missed the conversation, check it out online. He remembers some of his fond memories of LSU Ole Miss's matchup back in the day when he was playing in the late 60s and early 70s in that matchup. We're with you 7 o'clock every weekday morning, 104.5, 104.9 ESPN Baton Rouge.